What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to another topical video here on Anfield Agenda. We hope you guys are surviving the international break as good as can possibly be. Don't worry, the Reds will be back in action soon, but to keep you occupied, we've recorded a series of videos here on Anfield Agenda that we think will take the edge off the international break. Today, I'm going to be saying 3 things that you need to know about this Liverpool group, 3 things that I think will define our season. Of course, we want to know your thoughts in the comment section. Let us know if you agree or disagree. We'd love you to drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, and of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So first things first, let's move on to topic number 1, because I'm going to go through 3 things here. And topic number 1 is going to be Trent AlexanderArnold and where is his best position. So I'm going to tell you my thoughts, but of course I want to know your thoughts on these 3 subjects. So starting off with Trent, where is his best position? Well, I'm going to make the argument for keeping him exactly where he is now, at right back, moving into midfield. He turns 25 years of age today as I record this video on the 7th of October, so happy birthday, Trent. And look, you could make the argument to move him into midfield. You could make the argument to put Trent wide on the right hand side. Let's say, as an example, if Mo moves on, could Trent take up that position? Could he become a David Beckham-esque style winger? I think he probably could. Thing about Trent is, he's so talented on the ball that you can play him pretty much anywhere. The thing that I and many people have criticised him for occasionally has been his defensive awareness and positioning. But I think leaving him where he is now gives him the greatest impact on the game. I never see him becoming a natural number 6 or defensive midfielder. I just don't think it's the right position for him. And if you look at the players that we've brought into the club, Dominic Soze, Alexis McAllister, we've got Curtis Jones, we've got Harvey Elliott, Stefan Bajcetic. It's lots of young midfield players there who will take up those midfield positions. So for us, it's a case of, why disturb Trent? I'll never forget Neil Atkinson from the Anfield Rap said something, and it's stuck with me ever since. I think it was in the early days of Jurgen Klopp's tenure at Liverpool Football Club. And he said something along the lines of, Trent and the gaffer need to have a conversation about whether he wants to become a very good midfielder in the future or potentially go down as the best right back in Premier League history. And I'm very much with Neil on that one. I think that's where he could end up. Now, people love to criticise Trent, and I've criticised him occasionally about his lack of defensive nous as well. But important to remember, like I stated a moment ago, the dude's only 25 years of age. He probably has 10 years left. And players get better with age, especially defensively. So I think Trent, coming into his prime now, 25 to 28, I think we're going to see the benefits of the system that Jurgen Klopp has designed, in my opinion, to get the best out of Trent. So my argument is, leave Trent AlexanderArnold exactly where he is. Make sure we continuously have wingers that track back and work hard for the team. And I think we'll see the fruits of it. So for me, ladies and gentlemen, point number 1 I wanted to make is Trent AlexanderArnold's best position is right where he is now. The hybrid role between right back and central midfield. Or play him as a right wing back. For me, that's where he needs to stay. So point number 2 that I want to move on to is pretty bold statement, but that's what this video is all about, right? I'm here to make bold statements. I am going to say to you that when all is said and done, when all the shouting and screaming is done at the end of the season, that we will be looking back and that Dominic Soze will go down as the best signing of the summer in the Premier League, bar none. I know, it is biased. It is a Liverpool-centric statement, but that's how highly I rate this kid. Remember, 22 years of age, already the Hungarian national team captain, has already played with Salzburg, Leipzig and done very, very well. He's come into Liverpool and he hasn't missed a beat. He has finally given us somebody since Stevie G that we can get behind wearing that number 8 shirt and expect big things of. He's also covered more ground as of yet than any other player in the Premier League this season. I think it was about 83 kilometres if my memory's right. And all signs point to, again, this dude only getting better. And I can't wait to see when he really hits a stride at Liverpool, when he really gets used to the team, the city, the league, the style of play. The sky's the limit. And again, I want to remind people that he was long mentioned as a replacement for Kevin De Bruyne at Manchester City. Go back and research it yourselves if you don't believe me. The world knew about Dominic Soboslai. So when we signed him, and I started to see things like, you've signed a Leipzig squad player for 70 million euro, ha ha ha. I knew those words would come back to haunt those people because Anybody that knows anything about modern football and about young players coming through knows the talent of Dominic Soze. So look, €70 million is a lot of money. I'm not trying to sit here and say it was cheap, but if Liverpool had have waited even a day or two, that clause that was in his contract at Leipzig would have expired and they would have asked at least another €20 million for him. So for us, it was a race against time to get the job done. Well done to George Schmadtke and the rest of the recruitment team for getting it over the line. But as I mentioned, it's a bold statement, but I'm going to sit here and say to you that when all is said and done, that when we finish this season and we're looking back over it and we're ranking the best signings of the summer, Dominic Soze, for me, at Liverpool Football Club, will go down as pound for pound the best value signing. Again, though, I want to know, do you think I'm deluded? Do you agree with me? Or is this just complete overhype from a Liverpool fan? That's what this video is about. We want to know your thoughts. Now, I did say to you that there was 3, so I've got one more, right? So we've done Trent, we've done Dominic Soze. What other crazy statement or point do I think that you guys need to know? Well, it's about Darwin. And again, I'm going to say that when we look back in 3 or 4 years' time, and it could take 2-3 years before this comes to fruition, so maybe you need to bookmark this one. I'm going to say that when we look back, and we look back at the money we paid for Darwin Nunes, and even if it goes all the way up to the €100 million, including clauses and add-ons, that we'll all be sitting back and thinking, bargain, money well spent. Much like we did when we paid the money for Alisson Becker, much like we did when we paid the money for Virgil van Dijk. I think the price tag will be lost in translation in years to come. Darwin has all of the tools to be a top player. Yes, he has to make them all come together, and yes, he has to have a consistent run of form. But if you haven't seen this kid's progression, if you haven't seen him start to understand and realise what Jurgen wants of him, then I can't help you. Yes, he's frustrating at times when he misses open nets. But the most important thing is he never lets his head drop. I'm going to go on a bold prediction and say that he's going to score 20 goals or more in all competitions this season and from here on out for the next 2 to 3 years. That's how highly and how strongly I believe in Darwin Nunes. Don't let opposition fans get in your head. Don't let them try to make out like we've bought ourselves a donkey. Every single one of those clubs would have had Darwin Nunes if they could have. Don't believe me? Do a little search for yourself. Look back through the articles around the time where Darwin was potentially up for sale from Benfica. You'll see Newcastle fans wanting him, United fans wanting him, Liverpool fans wanting him, and many other fan bases in Europe wanting Darwin Nunes. The only problem for them is Liverpool got him, and that's where this undermining of Darwin stems from. Now, there are a couple of Liverpool fans who are still to be convinced. I think you're going to be convinced. So my 3 bold statements are: 1, Trent AlexanderArnold's best position is exactly where he is, at right back, moving into midfield if necessary. Number 2, that Darwin Nunes will be pound for pound great value, even if we pay the 100 million all in. And number 3, that Dominic Soze is going to be the signing of the summer for this season. Agree with me or disagree with me? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section. Talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.